Hello and welcome in for our Saturday afternoon tilt here between the Trinity University Tigers and the Endicott Gulls in Game 2 of their three-game series, the home opener for Trinity and the season opener for Endicott. And I am Josh Michigamba. I will be taking you through today's contest as we are underway here from Trinity University. And starting for the Tigers is going to be James Natoli. And Natoli, in his lone outing earlier this year, did very well against Concordia and was battled in a pitching duel with Concordia's Calvin Bush, a preseason All-American favorite. Calvin Bush no-hit Trinity Tigers through 7 innings. Tigers were no-hit through 7 2/3 before breaking through and winning the game 6-2. And we'll get you started with the lineups and everything else here momentarily, as we are going to see a opening batter walk here by Endicott. And I believe that was Miller taking the opening walk. So we get our stats updated. Yeah, Joseph Miller starting off for Endicott, and we're still waiting for some of these stats to upload and populate here for us so that we can see Trinity's lineup as well, as time was called. I can tell you it's going to be John Duffy at the plate now, and they're going to say it was a balk on Natoli as you see the runner moving over to second. So Miller now at second, Duffy batting, and then Kyle Brennan in the hole, or on deck, excuse me. Jordan Carvalho on deck batting fourth, Jake Nardone batting fifth, Ryan Prosser batting sixth, Matthew McKinley, Thomas Barberi, Christian Allaire, and we'll see Kevin Gould pitching here for the Gulls, and we were curious when we might see him. We thought he might go yesterday. Instead, he gets the Saturday afternoon start. Probably a better time slot for pitchers. Prefer to wake up and kind of do their morning routine and then get going, as it is Duffy. That one's taken high. And Tiger catcher Pettit and pitching coach Dave Smith out to check on things. For the Tigers, it's going to be Michael Herrera batting off, Rafe Schmidt batting second, Meredith in center field batting third. Michael Goodrich will be the designated hitter batting fourth, Jake Vonderhaar batting fifth. He'll be over at first base today. And let's see, Tyler Pettit leaving the mound. He will bat sixth. Had the solo home run yesterday for the Tigers in a 12-4 win. And Wisniewski batting seventh. It's going to be Evan McDonald batting eighth. Blake Johnson batting ninth. Of course, Natoli here on the mound. We'll get you caught back up with the Tigers as they come to the plate, and that's going to get away from Pettit. Interesting, though, runner did not advance. So Miller not taking off there. Not sure if that was maybe called a no pitch. So we're still awaiting some of the stats to get the count. And Natoli fires in a strike. This is John Duffy. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. And Duffy will take a big hack, come up empty on that one. yesterday's game. Duffy was 1 for 4. He's going to start his season off 1 for 5 as James Natoli is going to get the strikeout. And we've got one down here in the top of the first inning. Yesterday's final score 12-4 by the Tigers. They were able to plate 5 in the second inning, and then they allowed 4 runs between the third and the sixth. Endicott bringing it all the way back to a 5-4 game. And then Trinity able to pile on 5 more in the seventh. They added 2 in the eighth. Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. Taking the first game of the series 12-4. A game that was very competitive through 6 innings. And had it not been for 2 innings where Endicott dealt with a lack of control from the pitching, as that one is swung on and belted into right field. Shamet underneath it will have the second out of the top of the first. And Natoli, after a leadoff walk and a balk, has been able to strand the runner over at second. And we've now got 2 outs. Endicott just a little bit of command control issues yesterday. Other than that, they had a couple of innings where they just looked very sharp, especially for a season opener. Of course, Trinity, 4 games played last weekend. The Concordia Invitational, they played Laverne, Concordia, and they played Laterno twice, getting 4 wins across the board. Tigers didn't hit very well in that series as a team. They did blast 7 home runs in those 4 games, and they added 1 yesterday, so 8 for the season start, on pace for 64 in 2020, which would be absolutely phenomenal here for the Tigers. Natoli looks in. And a good cut is Carvalho, and he will fly out to Meredith over in center field. Leadoff walk. Runner moved over to second on a balk and then was stranded there. James Natoli, after the mound visit, looking like the James Natoli we knew coming into this game. And through a half inning of play, they caught with 1 base runner but no hits. And they leave him stranded. We'll be back for the bottom half of the first in just a second. Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning here in Trinity, or at Trinity here in San Antonio. Michael Correa will start off for the Tigers. He'll be going up against Kevin Gould, and Gould got the start last year on this day. So pitching in San Antonio back-to-back years here on February 22nd. In that game, he went 4 1/3, allowed 2 hits, gave up 1 run, and was given the no decision as the Tigers came back and won the game 8-1. His run that he allowed was unearned. And this is Herrera. First pitch, I believe, was a ball. And this one shot back up the middle, over too short, and fires over. Herrera is down early on. Gould went the rest of the year, 65 2/3 innings total. ERA standing 2.19 in 11 games started. Finished 6-2, had 71 strikeouts. Found himself, I believe, third team all-region. Kind of one of the big names standing out for Endicott this year. The only player called out by name. The podcast about D3 baseball, season previews for the New England region. Gould and Natoli both like to work quickly. Gould especially so here. We see him set, ready to go. Already the third pitch to Shamet. That one's going to be lifted. It's playable. I don't know if they're going to be able to get there. A lot of room in foul territory. And there's also a lot of ground to cover. Be long run there for the left fielder. It's a long run for the shortstop. If you've got a very athletic third baseman, you've got a very good chance at stealing a couple of outs away here, helping pitchers out. And Shamet fouls that one off out of play. Shamet 2 for 5 in the home opener yesterday. And his season had started off very slowly, but finding a little bit of redemption. 2 for 5, runs scored, 4 RBI. He was 0 for 3 with a sac fly until 7th and 8th innings, and he got 2 singles, 3 RBI, and he's going to start off with a strikeout here today. And Gould working now through 2 batters, has a weakly hit ground ball and a strikeout. That's going to bring up Mason Meredith. Meredith also 2 for 5 yesterday, and came in hitting very well after the 4-game set up in Austin last week. And saw him hit a first at-bat of the season home run. Helped Tigers over Laverne in a 2-1 game. This one shot up the middle, and the throw is going to be up the line, and it's going to pull Nardone off the bag just enough, and they're going to give Meredith the base on an error, I believe, as wait for the official scoring. Yes, I believe that's going to go down as an error on the throw, and that gets us to Michael Goodrich. So a runner on and 2 down for the former Tiger backstop. Figures to do quite a bit of duty as a DH this year, with Tyler Pettit taking over behind the dish. Pettit, a transfer from Division I Incarnate Word. And defensively, very, very solid. And Goodrich fouls that one back. yesterday. 3 for 4 for Goodrich. Run scored, 2 RBI. Had a laser shot double off the wall. Or excuse me, finished with 3 singles in the game. So 3 for 4 yesterday with 3 singles. Came in hitting about 320, 330 after the 4-game set. So his average spiking up. Throw over, and Meredith back easily. Foul ball, and Meredith will retreat back. Goodrich currently batting .421, leading the team. Meredith .381 right below him. And then Herrera and Evan McDonald is just 1 for 3. And then Blake Johnson batting at .300. That one's going to go past the backstop on a wild pitch. And Meredith will make it down to second. So a runner in scoring position now for Goodrich. And with Meredith's speed, figure he would score on a base hit. Tigers didn't get a hit in the first inning yesterday either, and they're still without one here today, but Goodrich reaching on the error. Or Meredith reaching on the error, and Goodrich trying to bring him around. That one fouled off. Pleasant day here in San Antonio. Sun's out. Temperatures at game time right around the high 50s, low 60s. Gould sets, delivers. That one's just a touch high. I believe the count is full at this point. Goodrich fouling it off down the third base side. Staying alive. See the sun's starting to come back out. Not terribly cold, but the wind a little bit more than usual today, so give it a slight chill. And that one on the outside corner, Meredith will steal third on the walk. And the Tigers will have runners at the corners. Jack Vonderhaar. Vonderhaar 0 for 4 yesterday. Did have a run scored. Had a walk. Actually, his first 2 plate appearances were walks. An infield fly, a strikeout, popped up to the second baseman and grounded out to the first baseman. So 6 plate appearances yesterday for Vonderhaar. Still looking for his first hit here at home this year. And nice breaking ball in from Gould. Vonderhaar going to have to change his approach to get that first hit here in this at-bat. If he's able to reach, Pettit awaits on deck. Pettit with a monster shot yesterday. A laser line drive that not only cleared the fence, but probably went another 40 to 50 feet beyond it. Lazy toss back over on Goodrich. It's not going anywhere. So more speed than usual for Goodrich, but Vonderhaar up the middle, and will it find the gap? It will. 1 run is in. Goodrich rounding second, and we'll see where they put him at third. He's going to try to make his way home, and he will be in there safely. And Vonderhaar thought about maybe changing it up, going to third, but he stays. And he has got a 2 RBI double, and unfortunate luck here for Kevin Gould, as he has now allowed 2 runs in this game, 3 runs here at Trinity in the past 2 years, and they've all been unearned. This one will be unearned after Meredith reached with 2 outs on an error up the middle, and then a walk to Goodrich, and the double by Vonderhaar. That's going to bring Pettit to the plate with a 2-0 lead. And we're going to get a mound visit before that. I don't really know if there's much else to tell Gould out there. He had been throwing very well. A little bit of bad luck on the error, but then I believe it was a 9-pitch at bat to Goodrich, who just fouled everything off. For drawing a walk. And nice breaking ball inside for Pettit for strike 1. Pitch to Vonderhaar was left out in a precarious spot. But really, I mean, if you're going to say that Gould's had anything negative this inning, it's been maybe 3 bad pitches total. So far, the Tigers have taken advantage of all of them. The ball 4 to Goodrich was just outside. Probably one of those pitches where if it was earlier in the count, might have gotten somebody to chase after it. That one shot over to the first base side weakly, and Nardone's going to take it himself. Touch bag, and Endicott's out of the inning, but the Tigers do lead here 2-0. And we will be back here to San Antonio here in just a bit. For the top of the second, Nardone, Prosser, and McKinley will be up for Endicott. Coming back top of the second inning here, and James Natoli pitching to Jake Nardone. First pitch was a ball, I believe. Second pitch a strike as he fouls it off. 1-1, Natoli looks in. And the first pitch was a strike. And Nardone chases that one up high for a 3-pitch strikeout from Natoli. First pitch here for Prosser is going to miss outside. This one shot into the middle, but it's going to be left up just enough. Mason Meredith's going to be able to scoot over. 5 pitches here in the second inning, and Natoli's already got 2 outs. Prosser taking that one, a good hack at it, but coming up just a bit short. It's one of those where you want to maybe just get underneath it so it bloops out over second base, falls safely in for a hit. Or you've got to get just enough of it to have it soar off the wall or over the wall. McKinley now, the shortstop. He's taking 2 up high, 2-0. One for 3 with a run scored yesterday. You see Pettit there trying to do a job with the framing. That pitch well up. Pettit's movement maybe just a bit too much. Nice job there, but not sure if he got the call. And Natoli deals. That one's outside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk here issued by the Tiger Senior. And that'll have Barbary, the tying run, coming to the plate. The area where he spends most of his time defensively. Throw over. Nothing doing. Second walk issued by Natoli. Runner goes. It's a swing and a miss. The throw down from Pettit a little high, and the runner's going to get in underneath the tag. And it's going to be a stolen base for McKinley. So a runner in scoring position now for the Gulls. And with 2 outs, a base hit should plate the run fairly easily. Breaking ball. Looks like it came too far in. That might be what the ump is indicating to the Tiger bullpen, or the Tiger dugout right there. Swing and a miss. Should be 2-1 on the count. Double by Jack Vonderhaar. Played Mason Meredith and Michael Goodrich in the bottom half of the first. Meredith reached on an error and Goodrich walked. All of that with 2 outs before the double. And Now with 2 outs, Endicott trying to maybe match the feet, but going down on strikes is going to be Barbary, and that's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Natoli through 2. And after 2, it's 2-0 Trinity. After 1.5, excuse me, it's 2-0 Trinity, and they'll be coming back to the plate with Wisniewski, McDonald, and Johnson. 7, 8, and 9 due up in the order for Trinity. Bottom of the 2nd inning here in San Antonio. And it's going to be Jack Wisniewski starting us off. Wisniewski over at 3rd base today. He was Tiger shortstop last year, but then the transfer for Michael Herrera coming in, and Herrera with 3 home runs in the first 4 games of the year for Trinity. And you see why Herrera gets maybe the nod over at short, his natural position there, and Wisniewski maybe more of an opportunity here, bouncing around. There's a shot back up the middle, off the glove, and it's going to be fielded by the 3rd baseman, and what a fantastic job. Prosser comes all the way over off the deflection and plays that one right in the shortstop range. And a nice defensive play there for Endicott to retire Wisniewski. And that's officially going to go down 1-6-3. Or 1-5-3, excuse me. Prosser playing that one over from the 6th spot. But a 1-5-3 as Gould will get a little bit of recognition for it. And that'll bring up Evan McDonald. And McDonald with a hit yesterday, playing in limited role late on in the game. Single into right field for the Tigers. 1 for 3 on the year. It comes into this one. Opportunity to get his first start here out in left field for Trinity. This one popped up and going out, making a really solid catch there. And shallow left is going to be McKinley all the way from the shortstop position. So 2 fine defensive plays here for Endicott early on. And maybe a little bit of a makeup as the defensive miscue early on cost Endicott a perfect 1-2-3 inning cost Gould an opportunity to get really into a rhythm. But he seems to have settled back in now, and Blake Johnson will be the batter. First pitch swinging over to McKinley, and he's got it easily, but no! The throw up the line, and another error with 2 down here for Endicott. And Blake Johnson's going to be on for Trinity here. They made a little bit of magic happen last half inning, or back in the bottom of the first, with 2 down, and we'll see if they can do that here back as we are back to the top of the order. Here is Herrera. We just talked about him a minute ago. 1 for 2 yesterday with a bunch of walks. First pitch, he didn't like it. He'll fly that one out, but he's going to get on base, and the Tigers are making something happen. Now Herrera is going to have to get into a box here. Is anybody going to cover second? Now they're going to go home with it. The tag at the plate is going to get Johnson. Nicely done there by Endicott. And the play should have ended on the fly out to begin with, so it all balances out here, and there will be 1 left on for the Tigers. We'll see all the official scoring, if they give Herrera a hit or if it goes as another error. That'd be a tough error on the second baseman if they gave it, but we'll check on that when we return. For now, after 2, it is Trinity 2-0. Endicott coming back with Allaire, and then back to the top of the order, Miller and Duffy when we return. Well, we mentioned earlier James Natoli likes to work quickly, and even his warm-up routine works quickly. So we're already 2 pitches into the batter, Allaire. And that was going to be swung on, fouled off. Nicely fielded by the first base coach. They are going to give Herrera a base hit, and probably rightfully so, as that one off the glove of the second baseman, but it would have been a fantastic over-the-shoulder catch for him. That one's fouled off, and I believe it's 2-2. It would have been a fantastic catch, but not to be, and then Trinity basically running themselves out of the inning. Herrera overshooting it, and probably rightfully so, running that one all the way to second. He got about 3/4 of the way there as the throw came in. He stopped, got himself down into a rundown. Blake Johnson just not in a position to do anything with it as he came home late, and the throw beat him by a considerable margin, as Allaire is going to get the game's first hit for Endicott goals. And first time through the order, they do have a hit on the board off Natoli. And Christian Allaire, second baseman, who doesn't get hit with an error on the last play, and then he comes up with a base hit here himself. We're back to the top of the order with Miller. throws over. It's more just procedural. I don't think Allaire was that far off the bag. I apologize. It is Millar. I'm saying Miller. But Millar batting. Throw back over. Allaire back. The Endicott lineup, when you look through it, Euclid and Millar. A couple of names in the New England region that resonate with baseball fans. Breaking ball in for a strike. Millar with the leadoff walk. He stole a base. Or I believe it was a balk that moved him over to second. And then he was stranded out on an island back in the first inning. He's got a runner on with nobody down. And it's a 1-2 count. And that one's high. 2-2. Millar calls for time. Second game of a 3-game set tomorrow. We'll be with you 11 a.m. Central Time. It'll be noon back on the East Coast. And we'll be back to the full setup as we had for last night. We've got conference basketball senior night for the Tigers in action, and that one, it's going to be a called strike 3 on Millar. He'll be down on strikes, and it's Holy rolling through now his 4th strikeout of the game here with one down in the third. I'll bring Duffy to the plate. Senior night for basketball, and being a conference game, I like to give priority to conference situations when we can, and that one tipping off at 4 o'clock today, and we figured with the 1 o'clock start here with baseball, and especially after last night's 3-hour and 50-minute affair, it'll be better to not try to cross everything over. PFP there for Natoli. Throws over to Vonderhaar to retire Duffy, and they're quickly 2 down. A runner does advance, though, and he's on second base. So Allaire moves 90 feet down the line, but they give up an out to do so, and it'll be Brennan stepping in. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to right field. His first at bat. Check swing and got a piece of it, so it rolls foul. It'll be strike 1. Getting the Strike there. Senior transfer coming from UT Austin. Now pitching not far from where he spent his high school days. Just down the road a couple hundred feet. And Alamo Heights High School here in San Antonio. That school district bordering up against the apartments here for students. So that's shot down the line but foul. Totally on the Mules staff for a couple of years with Forrest Whitley, Astros first-round pick a few years back. Expected to maybe make his major league debut this year, and a guy looking like he just wants a tryout for somebody, and a potential future crafty vet, James Natoli, with another strikeout. That's 5 through 3. And Brennan will be down on strikes. He's now 0 for 2. Tigers lead 2-0, and we're headed to the bottom half of the third when we return. Bottom half of the third inning, and Kevin Gould starting Mason Meredith off with a breaking ball strike. And you can see Gould Works nice, quickly, gets the rhythm going, throws a lot for strikes. He's got a lot of good movement too. Last one looked to be a touch of a slider, but that one up and in on Meredith. Gets out of the way. It's going to be 1-2. Looked like it got just away from him. So he's trying to maybe set him up in to go out. And he does go out, and this one hit into center. It's going to hang up and be the first out of the inning. Meredith has the ability to go yard. He's done that quite a few times in his career, and just not able to figure Gould out on that one. As I mentioned, a lot of Gould's pitches have some good break to it. So he'll keep hitters guessing. 2.19 ERA a year ago. Gave up a run, but it was unearned last year on this date. That one inside to Goodrich. Meredith had reached on an error before Goodrich had walked back in the first inning. They're the two that have scored for Trinity. And Goodrich trying to get on base once again. I apologize for coming back in late. Looks like we missed Shamet leading the inning off. Not only does Gould work quickly, he works very quickly. Shamet with the strikeout. And Goodrich will follow. And that will be it for the Tigers in the third. Kevin Gould working quickly. He'll send it back over to James Natoli. We knew we had two good ones on the mound. They're making it look very nice. We'll be back for the top of the fourth here in just a moment. 1-2. And that one's actually going to hit Carvajal, and he's going to make his way onto base. So the leadoff man on for Endicott here in the 4th inning. Carvajal had flown out to Meredith and center his first plate appearance. He gets hit on the 1-2 curveball here from Natoli. Bring up Nardone, and lefty versus lefty. First pitch swinging up, and that'll be playable. Wisniewski over right around where the coach would normally stand over at third base, making the play. And Nardone will be the first out here in the top of the 4th. Prosser try to move the runner across. He also flew out to Meredith. That was back in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. Count 1-1. Tully floats that one up. Endicott finished 23-18 a year ago. They opened their season here in San Antonio, losing the first 2 games to the Tigers before taking the 3rd 5-4. Trinity ranked number 4 a year ago, ranked number 3 this year. Play the Tigers here. Series starting today a year ago, and then didn't play for 3 more weeks. So their next game was in middle of March. And Prosser flies out into center, and that one taken by the second baseman. So there's an F8 and an F4. Speaking of second baseman, here's McKinley. First one's down in the dirt. Pettit quickly to it. And Pettit doing a good job staying down low. Carvajal staying at first. This one's flown out foul, and it'll reach the seats. Barbary on deck. If the goals can extend the inning. If not, Vonderhaar, Pettit, and Wisniewski due up for the Tigers. Vonderhaar, the reason why we've got 2-0. So he had a RBI double. This one over to Herrera, and he can't make the field cleanly. And that will go down as an E6 on the Tigers. So similar to what happened back in the 1st inning, a 2-out error. Now 2 on here for Endicott. And then we'll see Barbary come up. Freshman 0 for 1 today. McKinley now been on base twice. Walked his first time, and now he's got a E6. First error of the day for the Tigers. Barbary with a strikeout in his only plate appearance so far. Pettit out to Stockton Natoli. One of the taller players on the team and one of the shorter. And then you've got the mound helping Natoli out there as well. Endicott catcher steps in. First pitch, breaking ball down in the dirt. Mound visit could have been something as simple as runner on second. Which set of signs are we going to go through? Could have just been a general welfare check on somebody who should be out of an inning but isn't. This one lifted, right field. Shamet casually strolls over, has the catch, and that is it. Played 3.5. Tigers still holding that 2-0 lead, but it has been a fantastic pitcher's duel. The 2 runs were both unearned. And we will be back to Trinity's baseball field here in just a bit. For the Tigers, it will be Vonderhaar, Pettit, and Wisniewski when we return. Bottom half of the 4th inning was Vonderhaar taking ball 1, and then that one up over the head of Brennan out in left field. And unless they give a tough luck error on Brennan for some reason, that's going to be back-to-back doubles for Jack Vonderhaar. And Jack Vonderhaar, watched him as a first year a few years back and did very good things for the Tigers in pinch hitting roles, filling in late in games. Last year, the expectations may have been there, but not necessarily putting it all together. But this year, showing that he's ready to make an everyday contribution into the lineup. Be one of the elite hitters here for the Tigers, and he's showing that now with back-to-back base hits. 2 doubles in the game. This was going to be a sacrifice over. And nicely done here for Pettit. And the ultimate team player there is Pettit, who launched a towering home run yesterday. Comes up, has the assignment to drop one down and move the runner over to third, maybe gain an extra insurance run on a pitcher who's doing very good things against you. And he does his job very, very nicely. That's going to get us over to Wisniewski. Wisniewski 0 for 1 today. Yesterday, 3 for 5. This one shot down the line, and that's going to plate a run. And Wisniewski into second. A stand-up double. And the two jacks getting it done for the Tigers. 3 for 4, 2 doubles between Vonderhaar and Wisniewski today. The Tigers with 3 runs scored. Now out comfortably ahead. As you see, a good shot of Evan McDowell. Comes up to the plate. Gould, very nice first pitch. A little two-seam action, bringing that one back into the zone. That one down. Barbary does a nice job keeping it out in front. I'll keep Wisniewski over at second. It's a 1-1 count. Tigers scored 2 in the first. They've added another one here in the fourth. McDowell holds his swing. Now the throw over to third. Wisniewski's got it easily. We'll see if they give Wisniewski a stolen base, or if they give it a wild pitch. Didn't look like Wisniewski was going on delivery, so we'll wait the outcome from the official score for that one. And Gould does have first base open if he needs it. There's one down. Blake Johnson is on deck. Big cut there from McDowell. That was the outer part. Saw McDowell drive it into right field yesterday, so anything out over the outside part of the plate still within his reach. Does like to go with the pitch there. It looked like he tried to do the same thing. That one's inside, and that one's going to catch McDowell on the elbow. Would have been ball 4 if it didn't hit him. Helps out the catcher, tosses it back to him. I'm not sure that Gould wants any part of that ball. And McDowell will put runners on the corners now. And another mound visit here for Endicott. Still early season action, as you see. Blake Johnson, fill your screen. Stealing all the airtime. He's waiting his chance on deck. He reached on a throwing error. He hit the ball easily to McKinley, who rushed the throw back in the second inning and allowed Johnson to reach. Johnson was then later thrown out at home, trying to score after Herrera hit one weakly into right field out past the outstretched arms of Allaire. They were able to field it. Herrera got into situation, caught between first and second. Tried to hold up, allow Johnson enough time to break for home, and he did so. Endicott wisely throwing back to the plate. Barbary making a fantastic job of blocking the plate and applying the tag well ahead of Johnson's arrival. And that ended the inning. This one's lifted, popped up. McKinley going back for it. And makes the catch. Be 2 down here in the inning. Back to the top of the order for Herrera. 1 for 2. That's the only hit for the Tigers for a person not named Jack. 3 runs, 4 hits. No errors charged to the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors charged against Endicott. That one well outside, and they go all the way to the backstop. Coming around to score easily will be Wisniewski. Going to second is going to be McDonald. The Tigers have played it another. It is 4-0 Trinity. And that will be the second run of the inning. And both of these runs here in the fourth inning now earned runs against Gould. All right, we'll look at that one for strike one. Evens the count. And back-to-back strikes for Kevin Gould on Herrera. Called strike three. And Herrera does not like the call. It will be the end of the fourth. Tigers plate two. They lead 4-0. And we will be back in just a minute for the top of the fifth. You're watching Tiger Network here from Trinity University. We'll be right back. Christian Allaire making his second appearance as a single. One of two hits for Endicott. He's down 1-2 in the count to Natoli, and he sends that one down the line just foul. Across the bag area. It was probably about 6-7 feet foul, but shot up between the coach's box and the bag. Natoli, 4 innings pitched. He's allowed 2 hits. He's given up 2 walks. Struck out 5. He's faced 17. That one fairly well inside, giving you the illusion that it was probably slightly more in. Was Pettit receiving the pitch. Swing and a miss. And this will be a strikeout. And the out retired. Oof. Vonderhaar just getting the step down. The out coming 2-3. So 6th strikeout of the day for James Natoli. And that is twice through the order now for Endicott, as we are back to the top of the order with Joseph Millar. Millar 0 for 1, walked to start the game, and then he struck out looking in his last appearance. He's going to hit this one weakly. Over to second. And an easy play made by Blake Johnson. Quickly 2 down. And it's going to bring Duffy back around. He's 0 for 2. Struck out in the first inning, and then he grounded out to Natoli back in the third. Had a rough go of it yesterday as well, so he's looking for his first hit of the season. Or excuse me, well, 1 for 4 yesterday. So now 1 for 6 on the year. Heading to count 2-0. Duffy fouls this one back. Two earned runs, 2 unearned runs across for the Tigers. As Duffy gives that one a ride, but it's going to hang up. It's more of a pop-up as Herrera will take it. And that will be the end of the top of the 5th. And we'll be back for the bottom half. Shamet, Meredith, and Goodrich due up for the Tigers. We'll be right back. Rafe Shamet with the early out here in the bottom of the 5th for the Tigers. That'll bring up Mason Meredith with 1 down. Meredith reaching on an error and then flying out to his counterpart over in center. Shamet moves to 0-3 on the day. That one's inside. The count even 1-1. Meredith, 2 hits yesterday, both single and a double, and this one up the middle. Nicely fielded by McKinley, and he throws over just in time to get the speedy Mason Meredith. There'll be 2 down here for Gould in the 5th. Thought maybe Meredith had snuck out a base hit, hitting a slow roller, chopping up the middle, but fielded nicely by McKinley, showing some good range, and that'll bring up Goodrich. It's an important batter here for Gould. Vonderhaar waiting on deck, who's already 2 for 2. Goodrich 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch swinging, fouled off. Gould, who struck Goodrich out looking in his last plate appearance, now has Tiger designated hitter down 0-2. Looking for one more to close out the 5th. He's gone away the last couple of hitters with 2 strikes. Maybe bring this one up and in. Barberry wants it outside again. Goodrich fighting it off. Tigers 5-0 here in the early 2020 season. That one missing. It'll be 1-2. Against teams that were in a regional last year, as Goodrich sends that one into center, but right into the waiting arms of Duffy, and that's it for the 5th. So we'll catch back up on Tigers 2020 season when we return, but it'll be Brennan, Carvajal, and Nardone for the goals when we return for the 6th in just a bit. Top of the 6th, it'll be Brennan, Carvajal, and Nardone. It'll be Natoli for the Tigers, 6 Ks through 5. He's only allowed 2 hits in that game against Calvin Bush and the Tornadoes a week ago. He allowed a few hits and a few walks. He kept the base runners off until the 7th. That one over to Vonderhaar, who's going to make a sliding stab at first base and just beat Brennan to the bag. Nice defensive effort for Vonderhaar, who's going to lead us off next inning. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. And he shows the glove and the defensive awareness there. Tolley was covering, but Brennan with some speed. Vonderhaar felt like he had his play there and makes it very efficiently. And the first pitch to Carvajal be a swinging strike. This one chopped over to Wisniewski, deep in the hole. Comes up, throwing. Very strong throw, and that's going to get Carvajal down at first. Or 2 down here in the inning. Nice job for Wisniewski. We've talked about the former shortstop. He's got a pretty strong arm. That one taken all the way down the line and forcing him a foot from foul territory. He comes up with a strong throw across. And Natoli getting a little bit of help from his friends out on the defensive side. And they've put the runner back at first base. I believe a challenge or a protest has been called. And so, no, they're not going to say he's out. And so, good effort. I don't know what exactly they were looking at or what Endicott had motioned for. It was a close play. The only thing I think of is maybe the not touching the bag by Vonderhaar, but nonetheless, the umpire there made the call. The one from home didn't overturn it. I don't know if he agreed. Sometimes they just don't see everything and can't definitively say. Quickly 0-2 for Nardone. Strikeout and foul fly over a third base side. His first two appearances. Natoli 0-2. That one swung on and missed or fouled off to stay alive. Mentioned before, the two teams will do this again tomorrow. 11 o'clock start here from San Antonio. It's noon back on the East Coast. This one up the middle. And Natoli will field his position, throw over to first, and that will do it. 5.5 played. Tigers with a 4-0 lead. And we'll be back in just a bit here on the Tiger Network. Bottom of the sixth, Kevin Gould still in there working for Endicott. And third time around for Jack Vonderhaar, who's won both of the previous matchups with doubles. Now the breaking ball will fall in for a strike to even the count. Vonderhaar with a 2-out, 2 RBI double back in the first inning, and then went off the fourth inning with a double. Later came around and scored in the fourth. He's accounted for 3 of the runs scored by the Tigers today. Leads off here in the sixth. And he's going to go down on strikes here as Gould finally gets redemption. And there is one down. Gould throwing the type of game that I think we expected. But had a couple of unfortunate pitches. I'd say overall in his day. He's had a very solid start. 2 earned runs allowed. Pettit, first pitch swinging into the hole. McKinley can't get to it in time. And he got a glove on it at first, and it came up empty. So I'm not sure on the backhand if they're going to award an error or if they're going to give a single for Tyler Pettit. It would be interesting to see. They are going to give another error to McKinley. So Pettit reaches on an error. That brings up Wisniewski. Wisniewski doubled on the first pitch, his last at bat, driving in Vonderhaar. Now he's got a runner at first base. First pitch in there for a strike, and the second missing. So the count even at 1. Nice pitch from Gould there. Right at the knees and right over the inside part of the plate. Kind of a spot where unless Wisniewski was expecting something low and in, not going to get him to swing at that one. Runner goes, and easily stolen. Tyler Pettit on base via the error and kind of turns it into a double now with the stolen base. It'll be 2-2 for Wisniewski. That one shot over to McKinley. Comes up to first, and he just can't get it there in time. I didn't see a bobble. McKinley went down to the ground to field it. And we'll see if they give it a base hit or an error. Either way, it's runners at the corners for the Tigers. Already up 4-0. They will give Wisniewski a single. That brings up Evan McDowell. McDowell 0 for 1. He popped up to the shortstop and was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Had a single last night. Lightly tossed over to first. Wisniewski was maybe 2 feet off the bag. Maybe just a touch more as he dove back in, but by the time he hit the bag, he was already waist deep onto it. McDowell with a chance to get an RBI here for the Tigers. First pitch down low, it'll be 1-0. Pettit at third, Wisniewski at first. Activity in the Trinity bullpen. 2-0 now for McDowell. Don't have an angle to see if we've got activity there for Endicott, but somebody loosening for the Tigers. And the Tollies worked very well today, but After 7 innings last week, he hit his own wall and was pulled. He was able to get the win. That one's outside. 3-1 for McDowell. This one shot back up the middle, over to second, flip to McKinley at short, covering the bag. On to Brennan at first. Allaire starts the 4-6-3. And Endicott is out of a jam here in the 6th. We go to the 7th. Still 4-0 game. We'll be back here on the Tiger Network. Welcome back. Top of the 7th. You can see the 2016 National Championship sign, and that one a far distant memory now for Tiger baseball team, as 2020 marking the first time that there's not a single person on this team that was a member of that squad. Last year's senior class rounding out the first years that were there, and no carryovers with fifth years at this point. And so talked to a couple of players about some of the high expectations, being ranked third as Prosser steps in. 0 for 2, fly out to center field, and then shallow center taken by the second baseman. The players basically saying that they don't really feel the expectations. They're not looking at where they are right now. They understand from last year that it's kind of a journey and a process. This one lifted into the outfield, going back on it, Shamet, and Shamet making the play for the first out of the inning. So 3 flyouts now for Prosser. And be 1 down for Natoli here in the 7th. He went 7 against Concordia and then came back out for the 8th. That's when his troubles began. Totally deals this one back up the middle and should be taken by center fielder. Meredith will bring it back in. So a single, and that's just the 3rd hit of the day for Endicott off James Natoli. And McKinley putting that one back up the middle. Thomas Barbary steps in. There's a runner on first. One down here in the seventh. Popped up but out of play. Kinley now 2 for 2 on the day. 2 of the 3 hits off of Natoli. He's batting in the 7th spot. On deck is Christian Allaire. He's 1 for 2. Throw over. That one was close, but nicely done by McKinley. Get underneath the tag. Umpire there. Not having the closest look at it, but I think he got the call very correct. Be a little challenging with 2-man crews. That one outside. Allaire batting in the 9 spot on deck. He's 1 for 2. McKinley standing over at first in the 7th spot. He's 2 for 2. Endicott has 3 hits. They've got them all. Endicott batting 136, 3 for 22 so far. That one's going to be fouled back. Our batting slightly better now, 1 for 7 with 2 outs. Slightly better, 143 average overall, 136, so small sample size. Kind of inflate the numbers. That one thrown in, called strike 3, and Barbary down on strikes for the 2nd time today. And that will bring Allaire up 1 for 2. Yeah, I apologize. That was Christopher Webster batting for Barbary as a pinch hitter. So Webster down on strikes. This is Allaire, and he's 1 for 2, looking at his 2nd hit of the day. Singled back in the 3rd. He struck out in the 5th. The 1-1 lifted center field. Meredith ranging over, has it, and that will be it. Stretch time here in San Antonio on a fabulous Saturday afternoon. Tigers 4-0 lead. We'll be back in just a bit. welcome back Blake Johnson. Will lead us off here. So 0 for 2 today. He's been on base back in the second inning, reached all the way to third before getting thrown out at the plate. And he popped up to McKinley over at short back in the fourth inning. Gould's back out there for his seventh inning of work. The action that we'd seen in the Tiger pen. And they're ready to go, or they've been called off because they are not moving at this point. That one down in the dirt should be 2-0. That one missing out, now 3-0. There's a good strike there from Gould. Had to figure the 3-0 pitch was going to be taken for a strike. Inside strike called. Now count says 2-2. I've got 3-2. Apologize if I'm in the wrong. Called strike 3. It's not going to matter. 3 straight strikes. Johnson down looking. Back to the top of the order. Michael Herrera, 1 for 3 on the day. Gould working quickly now as he's gotten into the rhythm once again. Catching the outside corner. Be 0-1. Check swing, he did not hold up. I don't even know if it was a check swing at that point. Herrera now in the hole, 0-2. Fouled off. Trinity scoring 2 runs back in the first inning. Both of those were unearned. After Gould had gotten Herrera and Chalmette out, Meredith reached on an error. He walked Goodrich. Van der Haar had a gapping double, bring everybody home. Tigers played a 2 in the first. They added 2 more in the fourth. Leadoff double by Van der Haar, and then Wisniewski. A couple of batters later, slapping a double down the line. Score Van der Haar, and he later came around and scored himself. As Herrera has now fought the count down to 2-2. Four runs, 6 hits, no errors. 4 left on for the Tigers. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 6 left on for Endicott. And Endicott scores have not shown it yesterday and today, but been very competitive in these 2 matches. So this one's popped up over to first. Brennan has it after shielding off the sun. There's 2 down here, bottom 7th. That'll take us to Rafe Chalmette. Chalmette 0 for 3. He got going late yesterday. Got his first hit in the 7th inning, added another one in the 8th, finished 2 for 5. So I'd love to reciprocate that and maybe do it once more. After a slow start, this one shot up the middle into the gap. That's going to fall safely. He's got a double. And Rafe Chalmette. It's a slow start, and it's a slow start to games for Rafe, but finally putting some hits together here as of late, and it's good to see him with the extra base hit. Very talented player who's just got off to a slow start. You bring up another talented player who's gotten off to a pretty solid start here with Mason Meredith. Meredith 0 for 3 today, having reached on an error, and then he flew out to center and grounded out over to short. First pitch swinging, he pops it up into right. Camping out is Millar. He's got it. That's the end of the 7th. We go to the 8th. Endicott's running out of time. They're down 4. They've got 6 outs remaining. We'll be back in just a bit. Top of the 8th inning, James Natoli still out there firing for the Tigers. Back to the top of the order. Millar made the last out, and Millar steps in. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch right down the middle of the plate. Millar, the leadoff hitter, 0 for 2. And Natoli's got him confused on the changeup there. Now 1 and 2. That one lifted, foul, out of play. You can see the different cut of the grass out in left field. Just a couple of weeks ago, that was a huge trench running through the baseball field. So that one's fouled off as well. The main water main for all of campus, the main hot water main for all of campus, running right through the baseball field, having to be replaced over the winter break and into the early part of the baseball season. The team doing an admirable job having to practice around it. And swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Natoli. Make it 8. As Millar is down for the second time on strikes. And that'll bring up Duffy. Crew taking care of all of that construction project, doing a fantastic job of not only getting the field set and ready to play, it's in really good condition compared to where it was maybe 3 weeks ago, but also getting maybe use of our parking lot out back behind left field ready to go once again. The parking constraints here on campus have been a little ridiculous as of late, taking away nearly 100 to 125 spots. With some of the needed changes out there. That one is skied up to center field. Meredith will have it. 2 down here in the 8th. You see the construction still going there, but the trench filled in there as of yesterday, and only a little bit of space still left to go. So hopefully the project is nearing completion and things can be finished out. People can find spaces to park once again. First pitch called strike to Brennan. 1-1 now for Brennan. Swung on, hit into center field. Meredith going back, and looking up, and it is gone. Kyle Brennan, the opposite field home run just to the left of center. The shutout is gone here with 2 outs in the 7th. Endicott on the board now, 4-1. And celebration there for the goals. A well-hit ball for Brennan. That one just kept carrying and did not clear by much, but it clears. And so Natoli goes 7 innings a week ago, 7 plus. 2 runners got on, and he was tagged with a earned run, and he's going to get another 8th inning earned run against here. So a 1.29 ERA coming into the game. It brought that all the way back, and it'll be just ever so slightly less. So he's allowed another run here, but he's got 7 2/3 under his belt. 4-1 Tigers, and with a runner on now, don't go anywhere. Endicott could bring themselves right back into this one with a well-placed hit here. Swung on and fouled off. Goodrich, Vonderhaar, Pettit due up for the Tigers in the bottom half of the 8th. This is Justin Yardwell. Wardwell pinch hitting here. That one lifted. Going back on it and making the catch is going to be McDonald. The Tigers for giving up a solo home run to Brennan are out of the top of the 8th. They'll come to the plate. Maybe looking to add an insurance run or two just to be safe. Endicott showing that they can get back onto the scoreboard. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 8th inning in just a bit. Bottom half of the 8th inning here. And Michael Goodrich will step up. 0 for 2 with a walk today, but he's got a run scored. Right now, that run scored is the game-winning run. First pitch missing outside. It'll be 1-0. Gould still out there working. He's 7 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Giving up 4 doubles. Faced 30 batters. That one's called strike. Goodrich with the only walk of the game for the Tigers. And he will not have another one there. Counts 2-2. That one misses. I believe it was a full count. So second walk of the game for Goodrich, and the only two allowed by Gould. And Gould will see if he's victim to the same type of early fatigue that maybe you saw with Natoli. See a little bit of action there in the bullpen for Endicott. Vonderhaar steps in. Vonderhaar 2 for 3, 2 doubles and a strikeout. Shows bunt, and that one missing. Outside part of the plate. Second pitch left up, now 2-0. And a mound visit coming. Sorry. Mentioned this was Gould. Did not see the pitching change earlier on. This is Colin Hajar. Hajar coming in at the start of the inning. So issuing the second walk, but Goodrich has had both of them. One from Gould and one from Hajar. And this one roped down the line and right. It's going to be a 3-for-4 day for Jacques Vonderhaar. And that's going to be his first single of the afternoon. Vonderhaar, 5 total bases in this one. Goodrich making his way down to third. Tigers runners at the corners. Nobody out here in the 8th. First pitch in for Tyler Pettit. A called strike. That one fouled straight back. Goodrich at third, Vonderhaar at first base. Pettit looks at that one, now 2-1. Hajar comes so far inside, and they're going to say it hit Pettit. A little confused by that one. Pettit just kind of stood there for a second. The umpire said, no, it hit you. And I don't know if Pettit was maybe saying it didn't. Maybe wants the at-bat, but it's going to be bases loaded for the Tigers. And don't see any movement out of the bullpen or the dugout just yet. And Jack Wisniewski, it's 2 for 3. Double and a single. He's got the bases loaded. Hajar just one other appearance through an inning of relief 2 years ago. Allowed one hit and got a strikeout. A junior from Cheshire, Connecticut. Gets this one out of play. Ozuski staying alive, 1-2. Hajar brings that one inside, and it hits Wisniewski. Another RBI for Jack Wisniewski. Tigers played another with the bases loaded, and it is 5-1 Trinity. A little bit of insurance runs here for the Tigers now, but that also takes away a potential save opportunity. As you can see, action in the Tigers bullpen. Had they not scored, it would have been a save opportunity here. Hajar's day will be done. We'll take a quick break. Catch you up on the new pitcher in just a second. You get a good look there at Alexander Zeiser, the 6'4" senior out of IMG Academy down in Florida, native of Naples. As he's making his first appearance of the year. 2 innings of work last year in a single game. His sophomore year, he was much more active. 9 appearances, then 15 innings pitched. Allowed 7 hits. Gave up 7 runs. So the ERA has been high. The Ks per 9 looked pretty solid. Career average of 8.05. Does allow quite a bit of walks and hits per innings pitched. The second base umpire's got a great view of the strike zone for us. We do not. Evan McDowell to the plate for the Tigers. Bases loaded here in the 8th inning. Vonderhaar at third, Pettit at second, Wisniewski over at first. They've already scored 1 this inning, and there's still nobody out. Runners are the responsibility of Hajar. And McDowell slices this one into right field. Into the gap it goes. 2 runs are in. We'll see if it's enough to plate 3. And just the 2. Wisniewski all the way over to third. Evan McDowell with the 2 RBI double for the Tigers. Tigers add to their lead now 7-1. Blake Johnson will step in. He is 0 for 3 on the day. First pitch missing outside. We want to know. That one coming in quite a bit. First RBI is here for McDonald. 1 for 3 on the day. 2 for 4 in the series. It's going to be a walk for Johnson. The bases will remain loaded for Correa. And looking at the stats, right before McDonald just got an error in the stats. Trying to make sense of it. Right after the 0-2 start, now looks at that one sail high. And the 1-2, nobody out. Outside 2-2. That one spiked into the dirt. Nice stop for Webster. Bases loaded, nobody out. 7-1 lead for the Tigers. Make it 8-1. RBI walk for Michael Correa. And Wisniewski's going to come around and score the run for the Tigers. And that'll bring up Rafe Shamet. Had a double into the left center gap his last time up. Which he got going late yesterday. He was 0 for 3 before that double. Now 1 for 4 today. Finished 2 for 5 yesterday. 3 for 9 in the series. First pitch swinging, got underneath that, fouls it off. The 0-1 down in the dirt at Webster's feet. He'll recover quickly in time to keep the runners at bay. It's McDonald at third, Johnson at second, Correa at first. Tigers have pushed across 4 here in the 8th so far. Endicott still looking to get the first out. And that one makes it a 2-1 count now for Shamet. Struck out his first 2 times, flight out to left. Then went for a double, and now he's got this one in the air. But it's going to hang up just enough, but it will be a sac fly for Rafe Shamet. And not only is the run going to come in to score, Johnson's going to make his way from second down to third, and it's going to be runners on the corners, first out of the inning. Shamet with the RBI. And he's still just 1 for 4 on the day. That'll bring up Mason Meredith. 9-1 Tigers. Won yesterday by a score of 12-4. A lot of that damage coming in the second inning off of the starter, but then adding 9 more off of the reliever. Excuse me, adding 7 more off the relievers. First pitch swinging from Meredith. The 1-2. Not getting the call there. 2-2. That one's going to miss badly. The runner goes down to second. Schmidt, or excuse me, not Schmidt. That was Herrera. Out at second, caught stealing. And there's 2 down now, and a full count for Meredith. That one swung on and popped up. Coming in to make the play is going to be Millar. And Endicott out of the 8th, but the Tigers, plate 5. And we go to the 9th. Trinity 9, Endicott 1. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back. Top of the 9th inning. And the pitch for the Tigers is going to be first year Hunter Nevelis. Making his collegiate debut here for the Tigers. We'll have Prosser, McKinley, and Webster due up. Prosser 0 for 3, flew out all 3 times. This one a liner into right center His first hit of the day. He'll go for a single as he retreats back. Big turn around second base, but he's got his first hit, the 5th of the day for Endicott. And a man with 2 of those is McKinley. He steps to the plate. Singled to second and singled up the middle into center field. Also has a walk. He's been on base safely all 3 times today. Novelis. This one back into center. And they get a 3-for-3 day. There are 2 on here in the 9th for the goals. Christopher Webster up. Took over for Thomas Barbary. Webster coming back in the 7th inning. He's got 2 on. Nobody out, and he struck out his last time up. 2-0 now as that pitch misses high. Getting back with you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time. That one's in their first strike. For the final game of the 3-game set here with Endicott. Time is called. Tigers ranked 3rd in the preseason poll. And the first poll of the year will come out on the 25th. So next week on Tuesday, swing and a miss, now 2-2. Chapman, who is ranked number 1, they have started off their season very, very hot, winning 7 in a row coming into this weekend. A lot of teams getting going this week. Unless we'll call Pettit out, discuss the signs. Of course, teams in the South and the West generally get started early February. Then the rest of the country starts joining in around late February on into early March for New York and the New England regions, typically, unless they're playing on the road. This one fouled back, staying alive, now 2-2 still. First year out of Cal Allen, down in Corpus Christi, looking to get his first out as a Tiger. That one misses, full count. Swing fouled, a swing and a miss. And a strikeout for Novelis. Webster's down on strikes for the 2nd time today. Christian Allaire will be the batter Runners at second and first. Double play ball could end it for the Tigers. That'll be it for Nevelis. Pitching change coming in for the Tigers. And it is going to be from 43 to 44. And Brandon Hance, senior out of Tucson, will be in for the Tigers. And we'll take a quick break and join him in just a second. Top of the ninth, one down, two on, and Brandon Hance in for relief. Already appeared in 2 games. 2 2/3 innings against Laverne. Allowed 4 hits and a run. And first pitch is inside. Runners will hold. Following day, went 5 innings against Laterno. Allowed 6 hits and 2 earned runs. 5 Ks on the season for Hance. Only pitched an 8 1/3 last year, already at 7 2/3 innings this pitch this year. And that one is going to hit Allaire right in the hip area. And I say Allaire, that's Perkins. Nicholas Perkins pinch hitting for Allaire. So Prosser down to third, McKinley over to second, Perkins over to first, and we're back to the top of the order. Millar stepping in. Millar 0 for 3 with the walk. And it is 9-2. And back-to-back pitches by Hance have hit the batter. And that will score a run. So an RBI for Millar on the hit by pitch. And gonna get another mound visit here. Duffy on deck, but pitching coach Dave Smith's going to have a chat with Hance, who just seems to be overthrowing right now. Unfortunately, that run we charged against Nevelis. unless Endicott makes a huge comeback. James Tolley will move to 2-0. And Kevin Gould will fall to 0-1 on the early season, finished 6-2 a year ago. So looking to continue an excellent career there for Endicott. Only gave up 2 runs that were earned, gave up 4 overall. Hence, unable to find the strike zone now, 2-0. First 7.5 innings took 2 hours. The last 4 outs have taken now 38 minutes here. The 2 bullpens still working to get into their seasonal form. 2-1 will be the count. Trinity fans, stay with us. We have men's basketball going later today at 4 o'clock. And women's basketball will follow. The men's game has implications on their postseason status. This one up the middle. Run will score. And it's now 9-3. The last 2 runs, charged against Nevelis. That'll close out his day. 3 on the base pass now belong to Hance. 9-3, 3 on. And this one not in jeopardy yet, but Tigers need to get an out. And that will do it for Hance. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the new pitcher in just a bit. One down here in the top of the ninth, and Matt Thomas in relief for Trinity. Tigers down 9-3, bases loaded. This is now a save situation for Thomas. First pitch swinging into center field. Going back, having it, Meredith. The runners will come in to score, but Meredith doing a nice job throwing ahead of the runner at second over to third. Then we'll keep him at bay at second. So the score will be 9-4. Matt Thomas trying to get his fourth save of the year. And that will hit Carvalho in the head, and the bases will be loaded once again. Said it was a save situation. 6-run lead, 3 on. Might have just missed it. Runner in the hole would have represented the tying run. Still too early in February for me to remember the exact rules for save situations. So apologize if you're out there confident in that it is or it isn't. We'll double check it and find out. Thomas missing on the outer part of the plate. 1-1. Thomas will be just missing a save on this one as he entered. The runner on deck would have represented run number 8. Chopped foul. 2-2, so the Tigers get to their final strike. See if they can do anything. Millar at third, Duffy at second. Carvalho over at first after being plunked by the pitch. Thomas sets the 2-2. Not getting the call. Full count. Wardwell grounded out to the pitcher and flew out to left in his first 2 appearances. Lifts this one into right. Camping out at the track is Rafe Shamet. And Wardwell misses the grand slam by about 5 feet. And that will do it for this one. The Tigers will close out game number 2 of the series with a 9-4 victory. And Tolley with the win. Gould will take the loss. Jack Vanderhaar, 3 for 4 on the day, had a 2 RBI double back in the first inning. They got things rolling for the Tigers. And another later in the game as well. Jack Wisniewski with a solid day at the plate, a single and a double for him. And home run for Kyle Brennan for Endicott. Those are the notables from this one. For James Natoli, he goes 8 innings pitched, allows 5 hits, allows 1 run. It was earned. Strikes out 8, walks 2. Also hit a batter. Tigers improved to 6-0 on the campaign. Endicott down to 0-2. They'll play the final game of the series tomorrow, beginning at 11 a.m. Central. It'll be noon back in Massachusetts. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our student staff on cameras and in the control room. And that'll be it for us from baseball. Tiger basketball for Trinity fans starting in about 17 minutes. And we'll have that one for you as well. Take care.